Grammy-winning country pop artist Cam has officially announced her third studio album, All Things Light, set to release on July 18, 2025, via RCA Records. This will be her first solo album since 2020's The Other Side. Known for her lyrical honesty and genre-blending sound, Cam's return is highly anticipated. Fans and critics alike are eager to see how motherhood, time away from the spotlight, and recent collaborations have influenced her artistry. The announcement came with new music and a message of spiritual self-reflection, marking a fresh chapter in Cam's evolving story as an artist and person. Cam hasn't released a full-length studio album in 5 years, making All Things Light her long-awaited comeback. Since The Other Side, she's stayed creatively active behind the scenes, contributing to major projects like Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter. This hiatus from solo work allowed her to grow both personally and professionally. With this new album, Cam promises a more reflective and mature perspective shaped by motherhood and global change. Fans have been hungry for new material, and the long break has only intensified excitement around her next artistic move. The era kicked off with the release of Alchemy, Cam's first solo single in 4 years. The track is sonically rich, blending country storytelling with indie pop influences and folk textures. It explores the concept of personal transformation, how grief and growth are intertwined. Produced by longtime collaborator Tyler Johnson and Michael Uzowuru, Alchemy feels both intimate and expansive. It has already garnered critical praise for its emotional clarity and lush production. As a reintroduction to Cam's voice and vision, Alchemy sets the tone for what's to come on the album. Cam followed up Alchemy with the bold and provocative track, Turns Out That I Am God. The song opens the album and leans into heavier spiritual and existential themes. With echoing vocals and stark acoustic guitar, it feels like both a prayer and a challenge. The accompanying music video, directed by James Mackle, features a dreamlike, surreal aesthetic that expands on the song's message of self-realization and unity. This track has sparked thoughtful discussion online, with fans praising its vulnerability and philosophical depth. One of the album's most spiritual themes comes from the teachings of British philosopher Alan Watts. Cam cited his idea that, we're all God, we've just forgotten, as a guiding concept behind, Turns Out That I Am God. Rather than being religious, the message leans toward mindfulness and personal empowerment. Cam hopes listeners will be reminded of their shared divinity, not in a grandiose way, but with humility and compassion. This perspective shapes much of All Things Light, offering a new dimension to her songwriting. All Things Light was largely written during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Cam found herself in a deeply introspective place, adjusting to new motherhood, processing the uncertainty of the world, and looking inward for strength. The quiet of lockdown offered space for creative exploration and spiritual clarity. That isolation gave birth to songs that feel raw, warm, and unfiltered. The result is an album that captures not just a moment in her life but a universal experience of solitude, reflection, and transformation. Cam became a first-time mom in 2020, and that milestone had a major impact on her creative process. Many of the album's lyrics are rooted in conversations she had with her young daughter, questions about life, death, meaning, and self-worth. She wrote songs as messages she hopes her daughter can turn to someday. That perspective adds emotional weight to the project, as Cam balances maternal tenderness with philosophical inquiry. Her identity as a mother is deeply entwined with her identity as an artist on this album. The album features an all-star production team including Tyler Johnson, Ethan Gruska, Michael Uzowuru, and Jeff Boscar. Also involved are hitmakers like Stara and Ilse Juber. This wide-ranging team brings a layered, genre-crossing sound that reflects Cam's fearless approach to storytelling. Known for mixing country roots with bold sonic experimentation, she leans into that strength more than ever here. The production is elegant but emotionally charged, each track carefully crafted to elevate her voice and message. All Things Light expands Cam's signature sound into new territories. While her storytelling remains rooted in country tradition, the musical palette includes dreamy folk, cosmic pop, and even elements of experimental soul. The album leans heavily on texture, ambient guitars, choral harmonies, and atmospheric production, creating a sense of openness and introspection. It's not designed for radio formulas but for deep listening. Fans of boundary-pushing artists like Brandi Carlile or Kacey Musgraves will find a lot to appreciate here. Cam first made waves with her 2015 debut Untamed, featuring the triple platinum hit Burning House. Her 2020 follow-up, The Other Side, showed artistic maturity but didn't quite get the spotlight it deserved due to pandemic-era limitations. Since then, her work as a behind-the-scenes writer has flourished. This new album feels like both a return and a reinvention, a synthesis of all she's done and all she's becoming. It showcases her evolution while staying grounded in her strengths as a storyteller. In 2024, Cam was awarded a Grammy as a contributing songwriter on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter, which won Album of the Year. This behind-the-scenes recognition elevated her industry profile and reinforced her artistic credibility. Her participation in one of the most acclaimed albums of the decade makes All Things Light even more anticipated. Cam isn't just returning as a performer, she's returning with new perspective, validation, and artistic authority. It's a proud moment in her ongoing creative journey. Cam describes All Things Light as a labor of love and hope and fear and surrender. She sees it as a record that reflects the full spectrum of human emotion, light and dark, joy and doubt. Her goal wasn't to chase trends, but to create something timeless and healing. Each song contributes to an emotional arc, guiding listeners through self-doubt, wonder, acceptance, and transcendence. The album invites not just listening, but introspection. It's Cam's most personal and cosmic project yet. To celebrate the album, Cam will perform a one-night-only show at the Tabernacle in London on July 10, 2025. It will offer fans a rare and intimate chance to experience the songs live before the official release. The performance will showcase the full emotional and sonic depth of the album in a unique setting. Pre-sale tickets will open on June 18th, with the general release on June 19th. For fans overseas or die-hard listeners, this is a must-see event that adds excitement to the rollout. Listeners can pre-save All Things Light across major streaming platforms ahead of its July 18th release. Both Alchemy and Turns Out That I Am God are available now, giving fans a glimpse into the project's emotional core. The early response from fans has been enthusiastic, with both tracks sparking conversation and anticipation across social media. All Things Light feels like more than just an album, it's a statement. At a time when country music is expanding its boundaries, Cam's project arrives as a fearless example of what's possible when vulnerability meets vision. She isn't afraid to ask big questions or break sonic rules. It's the kind of artistic pivot you might expect from someone on a creative journey, like the stars in 15 screen icons who became literary stars, who found new voices through writing. By anchoring spiritual themes in personal stories, Cam creates a space for listeners to feel seen and soothed. The album reaffirms her place not just as a singer, but as a seeker and storyteller. All Things Light officially drops on July 18, 2025. Cam's return marks one of the most meaningful album releases of the year for fans of thoughtful, genre-bending music. Between her Grammy-winning collaborations, creative evolution, and emotional depth, the anticipation couldn't be higher. Whether you're a longtime fan or discovering her for the first time, this record promises to offer light, wisdom, and connection. It's a rise that feels reminiscent of how Ingrid Andress became a country music star, steadily building her voice while staying true to her vision. Follow Cam's official pages for updates, pre-save the album, and get ready for a moving journey. What are you most excited to hear on the album? Let us know your thoughts. Read more from this brand. Stolen Swift tickets, cyber scam uncovered. Luke Bryan's country song came on tour 2025 hits. Big old hits that came roaring back years later. Don't forget to follow us for more exclusive content right here on MSN. If you like this story, you'll love our free emails. Join today and be the first to get stories like this one. This slideshow was made with AI assistance and human editing.